So a little history about Raven. We're a 49-year-old company, third generation owned, veteran owned, and we got our start doing the first digital algorithm for slot machines back in the 60s. For the last 15 years, we've been the primary OEM manufacturer pretty much for the entire land mobile radio industry. We have thousands and tens of thousands of our different boxes deployed internationally, and a lot of them are deployed through a lot of our partners. We work with a lot of companies like Kenwood, Motorola, ICOM, Sapura, Hytera, Clearcom. You can see the list there. For a lot of these companies, we either manufacture the LMR gateways or we provide a lot of circuitry or software or firmware to support them with their grander public safety or commercial solutions. We specialize in the Internet of Things, and a lot of the radio technology, a lot of the customers out there, their technologies range from solutions that date back to the 1980s to today. And Raven Electronics, being around for the last 50 years, has never discontinued a product, so we're able to bridge a lot of these older technologies that a lot of customers need. ROIP, not to be confused with VoIP, there's a little bit of nuance between them. With voice over IP, you're essentially just pulling audio off of any device via 4-wire or 600 ohm, and you're converting it directly to digital data, IP packets, and transmitting it over a network. With ROIP, you don't want to lose the fidelity of the individual radio system, especially if it's a special type of radio system, like a DMR system or Kenwood NextEdge, whoever it is. So you want to be able to tie directly into the radio system and speak the language of those radios. And that's something that Raven does better than anyone else out in the market. We are radio agnostic and we are frequency agnostic. So it doesn't matter if it's an 800 meg, a 700 meg, a 2.4 gig. It doesn't matter what your radio frequency is. We can also tie in cell-to-radio PTT apps as well, so they can all sing together. So why Raven? We lead the industry in all things IP-driven interoperability. The majority of your radio manufacturers out there, your interop manufacturers, a lot of them only utilize 2 to 5 codecs. Most of them actually only use about 3 codecs in everything that they do. In all of our products, Raven utilizes no less than 19 codecs. And that allows us to do everything in a much smaller footprint with much higher audio fidelity, with much lower latency, and we offer some of the best compression algorithms in the market. This is our Blade, and our Blade is essentially a Lego kit for engineers. What you're looking at is a box roughly about the size of a VHS tape, and this is an 8-channel interoperability gateway. And what you're looking at are different modules that we manufacture. We're a modular company, so you have 2-wire, 4-wire modules. We can make VoIP modules, AMBI, DVSI, RS-232, PSTN, FXO, FXS. I'll put up a little slide of the different modules that we make. So you get a lot of versatility with what you need to see happen. And each of our modules are about 2 channels. So if you wanted to tie, say, a couple analog radios, a couple digital radios, and you wanted, if somebody were to key up on channel 1, it goes to channel 1 of the digital system. If somebody keys up on channel 1 of the digital system, it goes to channel 2 of the analog system. But if somebody keys up on channel 2 of the analog system, you want it to go via phone over to the dispatch center, and maybe a blinking red light goes off above the dispatcher's head. We can do all of that in this box, and this 8-channel interoperability gateway is only about $4,000 to $4,500 list price, depending on what kind of modules you put into it. And all of our stuff is 100% scalable. So anything that you need, Raven can build it for you. And as I mentioned, we build everything in the good old US of A in-house in our facilities in Reno. Because we do everything in-house, we have complete quality control over everything. And because we don't outsource any pieces of our puzzle, we're actually able to keep the cost significantly lower. We often get questioned of how are you guys building everything for a fourth the rack space? And the reality is that we are just significantly more efficient by building everything in one location in our facilities in Reno. So because we also do firmware and software in-house, if a customer were to tell us, we have a unique application where we want to use the radio, and when I'm out in a remote part of the world, I want to be able to use the DTMF string on the radio, and if I hit *1, it opens up a SIP bridge 2 countries over. And then I want to be able to hit the extension, and from my radio, I want to talk directly to a SIP phone. No problem. We can write that code directly in this box. So any unique applications that you may have, we can build them for you in our hardware. All of our products also come in small, medium, and large. So we also have our mini blade, which is essentially the same as our blade, but it's the motherboard and it holds a single module. So with the mini blade, if you were to put a 2-wire, 4-wire module in there, you get 2 channels of 2-wire, 4-wire. If you were to put a VoIP module, you get a single 2-wire, 4-wire resource and VoIP backhaul. And then of course we have our blade, which does 8 ports. And then we have our FlexGate, and this is our big boy. And with the FlexGate device, this is a full Windows Pro server on this side, and then on this side it actually holds 2 blade trays. So now you've got the same blade that's 8 channels. In a 2RU, you're doing 24 channels of interoperability. That's 24 channels, up to 36 channels of interoperability if you're doing Kenwood NextEdge, because our modules hold 3. Our NextEdge modules can actually support 3 DVSI TalkPads. So now you've got in a 2RU, 24 channels of interoperability. And we can take that up a step further. Our hardware can also operate as a voter. So this half RU gateway can actually operate as an 8-site voter. All you have to do is check the box in the software, and now you've got yourself a half a rack unit 8-site voting system. But we can take it a step further. We can digitally partition this hardware, so now it can operate as 2 4-site voters, or 4 2-site voters, or a 3-site, a 3-site, and a 2-site. So now you're no longer limited by the number of channels that you want to vote. If you want to have a 2-channel system, you no longer need to invest in $50, $60, $100,000 worth of equipment based on how many sites you have. We can do it all in the same box. So the FlexGate here can actually do 24 sites. So now this is a 2RU 24-site voting system. So a lot of expandability, and this could be 3 8-site or 4 6-site, however you want to set it up. If you need more than that, we have expansion chassis. With an extra 2RU, you get yourself an extra 64 sites. With a 4RU expansion chassis, you can do yourself, I think, up to 128 sites total. And of course, our 2-wire, 4-wire interface gives you access into satellite phones and conventional analog systems. Our ROIP VoIP gives you access into SIP phones and all SIP standards. We also make little SIP endpoint devices if you're looking for those. Our PSTN gives you FXO, and we also have FXS modules, so if you need phone in or phone out. And all of our products, small, medium, or large, mini blade, blade, or FlexGate, all operate the same. Any one of them could be your bridge, or your voter, or your VoIP backhaul. It could be your control station, your audio processor, it could be your pilot tone generator. Whatever you need, you let us know and we can design it for you that way.